residents of Teshinungwa were not the only people affected. We understand that a number of neighborhoods have also had similar situations. We got reports from Westlands. We got some reports from downtown here in Accra. We got some reports from Oyibi as well, and from the most eastern parts of the Greater Accra region. But however, let's speak to the National Disaster Management Organization Director General Archibald Kobna. We understand he has joined the line. He has joined us on the line. Mr. Kobna, thanks for joining us. Mr. Kobna, thanks for joining us. What's your assessment of the damage that has been done so far?
Hello?
Yes, Mr. Archibald Kobna, we want to find out what your assessment is of the damage that has been caused by the flood.
Well, assessment of damage, well, I think that we've had a lot of people lost a lot of properties. I've not seen, but I've heard about two losing their lives, unfortunately, in Adenta. I'm actually on my way driving there immediately to assess the situation for myself. The water has entered a lot of homes, and so people have lost their properties. We managed to try and help pump out waters in so many areas. In fact, right from yesterday night, we've been at work. Myself, my able National Director General, Nanaji Prempe, has also been on the ground with his deputies. Abu Ramadan has been on the ground. Saji has also been on the ground with the National Operations Team to back the regional team. Of course, our various districts have all been put on alert, and therefore they've all been on standby. We've been picking calls, emergency calls, and therefore responding to them as and when they come. And then we'll send forces to try and get people rescued.
So within your jurisdiction as Greater Accra Regional Director of NADMO, how many calls have you received?
Oh, so many.
Right. And what section of the region would you say has been affected generally?
Come again?
What section of the region would you say, if you want to generalize it, has been affected?
I think that Ashoman, Hacho, Boshe area, we've had Tema, Spinkters, we've had Westlands, we've had Adenta areas, we've had Medina, Achimota, the Christian village area, Paraku estates, some of those areas. We've had calls from all of the towns. Soman, I was with the mayor this morning at Odona to look at some of the areas. We worked through the night with our directors and the operations team, but we are still on. We've saved quite a number of people because we have our divers. The 48th Regiment came at some point to also come and assist. And the work is ongoing.
So how many people did you save, and how many relief items have been sent out so far?
Come again, sir.
I said, how many people have you saved, and how much in terms of relief items have you sent out so far?
Relief items?
Yeah.
Did you say relief items?
Yes, I did.
Okay. I think that as of now, it's when we get back from Adenta, with some areas, the relief items, because what we have been doing through from yesterday night to this morning was to ensure that we do what we call search and rescue. We've been trying to save the lives and ensure that we minimize the loss, life that will be lost. We make sure that we either don't have anybody dying, or at least to the barest minimum. So it's been search and rescue, and we've done that creditably very well. So I think that we'll move on to the relief stage.
Yes, so initially I asked how many people you had rescued, and at what stage do you move to providing relief for the... I said I asked initially how many people you have rescued, and again, at what stage do you move to... I will not be able
to give you the figures because...
Right. You cannot say how many people you rescued from last night.
Oh, from last night we rescued quite a number.
Okay.
At Adenta, we did about 10 from one side. There was another side at about 5. We did some at Westland, where old ladies and some kids were locked up. There were other teams. So because of the stage in which we are, where the search and rescue issue is up, we are not too much looking at let's do head count of how many we have done.
Okay.
Maybe when the temperature is a bit down, then we can really go into the counting stage.
Right, thank you, Mr. Archibald Kobna. He is.
You are welcome. Hello, permit me. I think that we have put out our emergency numbers.
Yes, we've been screening them. We've been screening them regularly during the bulletin. Thank you very much, Mr. Kobna.
Thank you. We are so grateful.
For joining us. Let me go on the other line now and speak with Joseph Akable. Joseph is currently stationed at a residence of another affected person at Westlands. As you heard Mr. Kobna say, that's also another affected area, and he joins us live with updates on the impact of Monday's downpour. Joseph, where exactly at Westlands are you, and what is the situation in that compound currently?
So Daniel, like you may have heard the official, he just engaged a short while. He had mentioned that he had got phone calls from Westlands, the residential facilities here. This is one of them. I mean, as you can see right behind me on the compound, it's a very busy day here at the home. Not a busy day because any event is taking place, but simply all the items that are within the compound have been brought outside. Reason they decided to come out here. I'm moving in, we'll be engaging some of them, but it's very important for us to take a look at what the situation is here. So you can see various items all that have been placed here on the compound. I mean, all these are things that ordinarily it should be within this particular house. The interesting thing about the impact stories that we've been telling this morning is the fact that a good number of the times the stories we tend to hear are stories that are from areas that you naturally consider to be slums, but that is not the case. This is an estate, I mean largely a residential facility built for that purpose, but simply not habitable at this particular point in time. And as you can see with the items that have been put out here, for those who are within the structure, it's all a morning of cleaning. It's simply pretty much a busy day for them, and I'll be trying to engage some of them quickly just to pick their thoughts on what exactly the situation has been here since morning. Let me just speak to you quickly. She's coming closer. This is one of the rooms here. It's supposed to be a room that in the evenings someone resides here, but this morning is simply not possible because obviously the flood has messed up the entire place. The resident, the one who occupies this room, is coming out. Your name, please?
I'm Gifty.
I guess this is your room.
No, that's my auntie's room.
Okay, but I mean, it's a reflection of what most parts of the house virtually looks like. I mean, what's the story here? Tell me.
Well, yesterday around 8:30, it was raining. We thought it was just a normal rain, and we packed our things, most of the things up, and we were hoping it wouldn't come indoors, but that was not the thing. It started raining cats and dogs, and it came inside. So we tried driving the water away, and after some few minutes, we realized the Odo River was overflowing, and it was driving the water back here, and it just flooded the place. Indoors, it was even above my knee level. It's really pathetic. As you can see inside here.
Let's come in. I mean, our viewers obviously will want to see what I'm seeing here. So this is one of the rooms, Daniel. You can see this is the mattress. I mean, in simple terms, if you take a look at the walls, you realize that the water has washed off parts of the painting. It's simply because the water got to that particular level. Yes, we can see the other parts as well. I mean,
a whole lot of work done here.
And at that point, I mean, in the night, I mean, I can imagine, what was the scene in the house?
We actually didn't sleep because we know when it rains, it's actually terrible here. So we are trying to prevent the water from coming in, but all our efforts didn't work. So we didn't know what to do. So we just sat back and just watching, and the water was just flowing up the place like that.
How long have you lived here?
For over 4 years.
Within the 4 years, have you had any flood in this magnitude?
No. For me, this is the very first time. unprecedented. I've never seen anything like this before. For the water to flow back and the Odo River to just reject it. It rejected the water coming out from this place and it just drove back here. It was very bad. The road, every place was flooded. It was very bad. I've never seen anything like this before here. Normally, the place get flooded, but just outside, and we just drive it away. But this time, it came indoors. It was up to this level, as you can see here, up to this level. So all the stuff in here has spoiled, everything. As you can see, those we have taken outside. I'm not sure, things worth thousands and millions. Our fridges were just floating in the water like that. You just go and see. Let's go to the hall and see what's happening.
So she's taking me to the hall, Daniel. We are going to take a look at that side of the house as well, where, okay, so a bit of cleaning has been done here. So you can see the sofas that have been turned upside down. In fact, Daniel, touching the sofa, I can feel it. It's still not dried out. It's still, some water can be felt around it, and that is the refrigerator that she was talking about, it floating. So this place has been cleaned here. But so this evening, I mean, you hope to finish the cleaning that you are doing.
I'm not sure we can finish this today. No, unless we get help, we can't finish this today. Because you just look at the room, look at the things outside. How are we going to pack them back here? It's really a tedious work, and we need help.
But a big question I ask, I mean, those we've engaged so far is, I mean, we are just...
Okay, Joseph, thanks very much for that update. Of course, we'll be getting more from Westlands in later bulletins.